Hey everybody, welcome back. This is some bestie wedding drama that ruffled my feathers, and it will ruffle yours too. Am I the a-hole for not wanting to wear a different bridesmaid's dress? All rise. The Honorable Judge Charlotte presiding. A few months ago, my 32 female, good friends, 33 male, Riley, fiance, 33 female Sam, asked me to be a bridesmaid. The bride-to-be and I have always been friendly, but not very close. She never seemed very interested in getting to know our friend group, despite repeated attempts. So I was pretty surprised when she asked me to be a bridesmaid. Still, I agreed. The wedding is coming up in a few weeks. And while I'm more than happy to take part, I've been having some issues with the dress situation. The bridesmaid dress was picked out last year, and the fittings were officially finished last month. Sam paid for everything. The plan was for all bridesmaids to wear the exact same dress. She really stressed that she wanted all of us to look identical. But during brunch 2 weeks ago, she told me that I'll need to wear a different dress. What different dress, pray tell? That kind of contradicts what you were saying, but okay. Apparently she decided all the bridesmaids should have a different look instead of looking identical. I thought it was a bit weird to change something like this so late in the game, but I didn't really think much else of it. We agreed to a date and time for my fitting and continued with brunch. So you need to wear the different dress, but everybody has to have a different look. Math is not mathing. Let me get out my calculator. Yeah, it doesn't add up. Fast forward to the end of my fitting last week, the new dress was unexpected. While the old dress was a cuffed off the shoulder, emerald green dress with a high slit that was fairly form-fitting, this new dress was giving elevated moo-moo. Listen, I like a moo-moo. I have been known to wear a moo-moo, but I can't help but feel that she wants you to wear a moo-moo so she hides you a little bit. I wear moo-moos to hide things. Like, I'll wear a moo-moo, a fancy moo-moo, like over a bathing suit. Like if I know I'm gonna be like sitting down and like I've got like wobbly bits, but I also still wanna look chic, I'll wear a moo-moo so that I can sit down and relax and not have to suck in my stomach. Like specifically, usually over like a bathing suit, right? So that you can just kind of just relax. But I know I like a moo-moo. I think they're chic. I love the 60s, but I do wear them to hide my body. I have been known to wear many a moo-moo. It was shapeless, long-sleeved, and it was what I can only call vomit green. Regardless, I agreed to wear the dress thinking at least the other bridesmaids would join me in my suffering. 2 days ago, during dinner with one of the bridesmaids, I asked if she's already seen her new dress. She looked confused and asked me what I was talking about. I reiterated what Sam said during brunch, and she even looked more confused and told me she hasn't heard anything about getting a new dress. This is when a few alarm bells started going off. What do you got? You got big titties or something, girl? You got some big boobs or what? Are you like a little bit bigger or something? Like she clearly wants to hide something about you or make you look like either or. The color choices. A vomit green dress at your wedding is kind of like, I mean, people can wear whatever the hell they want, but it's an interesting choice. Later that night, I texted all the other bridesmaids asking if they'd been told anything about getting new dresses, and they all said no. It's just interesting because I have this image in my head of you wearing this like vomit colored muumuu and being this kind of like, or you could look like wedding vomit Jesus, either or. One of them suggested it may be just a misunderstanding. I didn't understand how it could be a misunderstanding, and I decided to speak with Sam anyways. I called Sam yesterday, and after some generic chit chat, I asked her why she hasn't told any of the other bridesmaids they're getting new dresses. Long silence. Like so much so that I thought the call disconnected. She then told me that she made a last minute decision not to get everyone different dresses, but I'd be wearing a different dress because she already bought it. She already bought the old dress too, so this reasoning made zero sense. I tried to reason with her by mentioning how strange it would look for one bridesmaid to look completely different from the others, only if it was like a maid of honor situation, which you are not, and it would draw unnecessary attention. But she said she didn't mind. She then rushed to get off the phone and basically hung up on me. Later that day, I texted her to tell her I didn't feel comfortable wearing that dress, and I kind of felt like she's picking on me for some reason. Haven't received a response yet. Part of me feels like I'm being a bit dramatic, but another part of me feels like singling me out for no reason is mean. I don't want to cause any drama or stress dress, but I also don't want to feel uncomfortable at the wedding. Am I the a-hole? You would be the a-hole in this scenario if you didn't like the dress that everyone else was wearing. Like you kind of wanted special treatment and you wanted to wear like a different dress in the same fabric or a different color fabric or something. It is a little weird that she's singling you out. I don't feel like you're an a-hole. I think that you have fair concerns and I'm curious to know what you look like. Edit, a few people have suggested Sam is jealous of me being Riley's friend, but another close female friend of Riley's is also a bridesmaid. And she's a lot closer to Sam or I than anyone else in our friend group. She's jelly girl. Do not participate in the wedding if she's going to be such an a-hole. You should tell your friend because that is BS. I'm leaning toward just demoting myself to guest. Yeah, if she's trying to make you wear that dress and you're kind of uncomfortable wearing it, yeah, I don't know. I feel like she's purposefully trying to make you look like you're wearing a paper bag. My friend was so happy to hear I agreed to be a bridesmaid. I still say you need to tell him she's a little nuts. You need to send your friend all the messages you have from the bride and bridesmaid. You need to tell him his fiance is singling you out for some reason and you're not comfortable being messed with by her. If he wants you as a groomswoman, like a matron of honor, you're happy to do that. We're not gonna get too much into the comments because there's multiple updates to this. Update number 1. Didn't think I'd have an update so soon, but here we are. I spoke with Riley over the phone last night and explained the entire dress situation. He seemed more disappointed than surprised, which caught me off guard, and was pissed on my behalf. He then told me what he believes the reason behind Sam's newfound hostility toward me. Last month, while he and Sam were having dinner with his family, his mother let it slip that Riley and I kind of went on a date a while ago. Okay, that's what it is. So she's trying to purposely make you look bad because she doesn't want you up there while she's saying her vows and she's uncomfortable about the fact that you guys went on a date, and she's trying to make you look bad because she feels insecure that you guys went on a date in the past. To be clear, we did not actually date. We went on a double date with a friend and a girl he was into because he was so nervous. I never even counted it as a real date because Riley and I were just there to make our friend more comfortable. There's never been anything even remotely romantic between us. Also, keep in mind that this happened almost 12 years ago. I had honestly completely forgotten about it. It kind of depends on how it was explained to the bride, but like it's still really to like try to purposely make someone look bad. Riley said he's explained everything to Sam to drive home the fact it wasn't a real date, but she was fixated on him not telling her about it until now. She said that if I was truly not a real date and he didn't have any feelings for me, then he would have already told her about it. I mean, not if it was irrelevant and a long time ago. Things were tense for a few days, but they later apologized to each other, him for not saying anything and her for overreacting, so he thought the issue was resolved. That seems to not be the case. Anywho, Riley plans on speaking with her tonight, so we'll see what comes of that. Regardless, I don't think it makes sense for me to continue being a bridesmaid, even if I'm allowed to wear the original dress. Hoping everything works out. Well, my fellow potatoes, I have another quick update. Things don't seem to be going well. This afternoon, Riley asked me if he could stay at my place for a few days. Oh no. Until he has to travel for work later this week. Uh-oh. Of course, I said yes, but asked why he wants to stay with me. He lives 30 minutes away. He said he doesn't want to talk about it right now, so I backed off. He's currently holed up in one of my guest rooms and hasn't come out in hours. I am worried. When you read about all these bridezillas, sometimes I'm like, how can you hear about your wife acting a certain way around people and not feel some type of way about it? Like, it's just so confusing to me how you could like turn a blind eye to like everyone telling you that your wife or your fiance, she acted weird though. If I were him, I would have second guessed that too. That's messed up. It shows that she's jealous and petty. You didn't even do anything realistically. Like putting someone purposefully in a dress to make them look bad that's a special kind of mean. That's some mean girl shit. Next update, this afternoon, while Riley and I were at work, I received a call from the security desk of my residential community. Someone was there claiming they're my guest, but they didn't have a code and their name wasn't on the visitors list. It was Sam. I told security to deny her entry, which they did. Not even a minute later, Sam called me, but I didn't pick up. She called me thrice. Not once, not twice, but thrice. Before I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and 4 times after I did. She then sent a text saying,
"You're causing misunderstandings. You need to send him back today."
I'm home, but Riley's still at work. I haven't told him anything yet. Don't want him to stress out while he's working, but will after he returns. Also, I haven't tried to contact Sam, and I don't plan on doing so anytime soon. Really don't foresee any combos between us going well right now. Random kind of funny thing to note, since yesterday, Sam's been removing me from the bridesmaid group chat, but the other bridesmaids keep re-adding me after noticing I'm missing. This happened 5 times. Oh my God. Yeah, she feels some type of way about you, girl. So we do have one more major update. Last night, after Riley returned to my place after work, I told him everything regarding Sam to come to my house. And I showed him the text messages and missed calls. He was pissed. I've never seen him angry in all my years knowing him. He was completely silent, but looked like he was 2 seconds from setting someone on fire. After letting him cool down a bit, I asked him if he wanted to talk. He did. Ooh. He told me they always seem to argue about the same things. Then she'd pretend to understand and be all right with everything, only to bring it up again in the future. A few examples of the main things she'd say or bring up. 1, our friend group is toxic and too close. 2, Riley should be thankful to her for keeping his habit a secret. A while ago, he mentioned to her that he smoked the Mary multiple times in uni. 3, he's too secretive about work, and I know more about his job than she does. We're both feds who work in intel, and our offices sometimes liaise with each other. 4, he spends too much time with his family. She sounds like she's just like trying to isolate him. I don't like this one bit. He suggested couples counseling a few times, but she kept on refusing. They've been doing pretty well for the past year or so and didn't argue much anymore, so he stopped bringing it up. Apparently, the absolute last straw happened the day he asked me to stay at my place. During the argument with Sam that led to this, initially regarding the dress debacle but snowballing into other topics, in addition to trying to get him to cut me out of his life, she also called me the N-word. I'm black, by the way, and Riley and Sam are white. Okay, yeah, that is some relationship ending right there. Before he left, he told Sam their relationship was over. Since then, she's been blowing up his phone, but he said he hasn't read any of her messages or answered her calls. She also sent him emails, which he ignored. He's going to tell his family and our friend group before he leaves for his work trip. I encouraged him to do it sooner rather than later before Sam has a chance to try to stir things up. Yeah, I feel like she's the type of person to definitely get her side of the story out there, but like everyone's gonna wonder or why he's not going through with the wedding. And yeah, that's really messed up. Like, I'm sorry, but like, you can't sit with us. Sorry. Not sorry at all, actually. I'm not sorry. I'm just Canadian. I say sorry a lot. I also say sorry when I'm about to be.
I'm sorry that you're a...
Also, when he returns from the trip, he plans on going back to his place to get the ring back and tell her she needs to find a new place to live. The house is his. We spent the rest of the night and part of the early morning eating leftovers and cookie dough, working our way through some of the Moscow mules and watching Monty Python. It'll take some time, but I know he's going to be fine. Thank you, my dearest potatoes, for all your insight, advice, and kind words. Love this community. Oh my goodness. I am so sorry that that happened to you. Like, holy cannoli. This is so much deeper than just like having jealousy. Your future wife being jealous of your friend is one thing, but your future wife having feelings like that toward another human being is like unconscionable. Like, it is unacceptable. I'm sorry, but she did it to herself. And quite frankly, I'm kind of glad that she let something like that slip, because then you would have married someone who had these really horrible feelings that you were unaware of. So consider it a blessing. I'm feeling like I'm really sorry that you had to find out this. Like, I'm sorry that she used that word. It's very hurtful. But in a way, I'm kind of glad that you know now. Because like, imagine having to like maintain a friendship with someone whose wife feels that way toward you. If I were you, I'd rather not. We're moving on now. So are you the a-hole for not wanting to wear a different bridesmaid's dress? Absolutely not, babe. It doesn't look like you're wearing the dress anyway, so wedding ain't happening anymore. Am I the a-hole for being the reason my best friend canceled her wedding, then cut ties forever with her? Whore in the court. This is a long one, guys. Bear with me. Some context. Set the scene! Me, 37 female, and let's call her Veronica, 37 female. We were best friends since high school. She was the type to be very flirtatious and always got her way. Even with me, I would pay for everything, drive us everywhere, supply food and booze. You name it, I did it. I don't know why, but I did. Pretty people have that effect on us, don't they? It's also like when you see like a really beautiful person, it's kind of like you also assume that the outer beauty is an indication of the inner beauty too. But I know some very beautiful people who are also very ugly on the inside. She had this control over people. She knows how to work it. Not just me, but those around her too. After graduating high school, we all moved and followed love. Always kept in touch and hung out every time we were in the same town. As we got older, I was the only one to go to her. Pay for fuel, take time off, and go to her. She still expected me to pay for everything, even though I was the only one going out of my way. Oh my God, you're way too nice. Oh man. I've had lots of friends with very beautiful girls. Going out with them or going on vacation with them, it's an experience because like once you kind of have the mentality that you're so pretty that you don't have to pay for anything, you also kind of let that spill over into your other friendships. I ain't getting action out of this. I don't know why you think I'm your sugar daddy, but they do. They do think that. I was getting very tired of it. I was close to cutting ties with this girl. One day, she calls me up crying. One of her old best guy friends has passed away. She was begging me to come babysit her daughter while she grieved. I thought this was odd. Not, hey, I could really use some comfort from my bestie. No, I need you to babysit. Mind you, I'm a 6-hour drive away, and I would lose my position at work at home care aide. I explained this to her, I would lose my position, and I couldn't just up and leave without notice and taking time off work. I also had a daughter who was in elementary school, so I would have to pull her out of school as well. I said how sorry I am for your loss, but unfortunately, I couldn't go. She lost it on me. As they do.
Delusional.
It's an interesting thing that happens when the dynamic changes. Like they don't get what they want anymore. They throw temper tantrums like they do. I'm talking about the pretty girls that like get everything they want. She called me a selfish B-word, hung up, and blocked me on all social media platforms. I was in shock. More so for her calling me selfish. Leading up to this, I wasn't surprised our friendship fell out. I was okay with it, really. Should have been me ending it, but this worked. Yeah, at least you didn't have to do it. Breaking up with people is hard. Like, don't get me wrong. But like ending a friendship is just weird, you know? Like it's almost just best to like phase it out because it's almost like we feel obligated to continue with friendships even though they're toxic, you know, they're not positive influences in our lives anymore. Honestly, easier to just do the phase out. But she did the dirty work for you, so that's good. And now you're very clear on where she stands. Years later, we contacted each other and started a friendship again. I knew this time I wouldn't put up with some of the old stuff I used to. In that case, it kind of seems like she doesn't really like boundaries though. So it's only a matter of time before you set another boundary and she freaks out. Surely I thought we'd all grown up and matured and not the same people we once were, or she was at least. Less drinking and partying. At this time, I have had 3 kids and her too. Finally, a mature relationship, right? No, once people learn that they can kind of get whatever they want, that's ingrained in them from a young age. So when they don't get what they want, they don't like it. Veronica was engaged. Both her parents had passed, so she asked me to walk her down the aisle and marry her and her now husband. Not legally marry. I was delighted to, of course, and accepted this responsibility. All was well. We booked our resort room a year in advance and I helped with anything she needed. It was to be very simple and laid back, so not too much to do. I secretly got myself ordained so I could legally marry Veronica and her partner. I wanted to surprise her, had all my paperwork done and her certificate filled out, all ready to be signed by them both. I was so proud. Boasted it to my other friends. What's a better wedding gift than that? I kind of feel like I know where this is going. Like I am psychic, but I won't spoil it. And no, I have not read this. I never read any stories before I read them to you guys. It was 4 weeks. Yes, 4 weeks before the wedding, and Veronica announced to everyone the wedding will be moved from the resort to somewhere closer to home. Okay, that's fine. My partner booked 5 days off to work. The resort was paid for 3 nights. This gave us a day for travel there and back. We got our money back from the resort. Okay, that's good, because like a lot of these places don't actually let you get your money back. And we were planning what's next. We informed Veronica, as it's now a longer drive for us, we could only stay 2 to 3 nights. She insisted we stay for 2 weeks. This is not doable. Why stay 2 to 3 weeks when it's not a destination wedding? Like I'm having a destination wedding and I know that people are, oh, I know, it's so surprising. I know I've hinted at it, but we are having a destination wedding and I know that people are planning trips surrounding the wedding. Is it an expectation that they plan trips surrounding the wedding? Absolutely not. No, it is not. I'm just happy that they'll be there for the wedding day itself. They don't even need to be there for the welcome party or anything. But I don't understand why you need to be there for 2 weeks if it's just gonna be like close to home. Anyways, sorry, no can do Veronica. She still wasn't having it. She didn't want a wedding unless we stayed for 2 weeks afterwards. What? Excuse me, this is completely unfair to put on us when we simply can't stay any longer. We suggested we come back in the summer or make fall plans or maybe a week's visit. Why does she want you there for 2 weeks? That was unacceptable, I guess. I didn't know what else to say or do. We can still come. I can still walk you down the aisle and marry you both. Why can't that be enough? So they decided to elope, keep their wedding date for the 4 weeks ahead and got married on their own. She later tells me me it's because I couldn't make up my mind and she couldn't rely on me to be there. You were gonna be there. You did make up your mind. You were very clear. You just couldn't be there for 2 weeks, which is reasonable. And that only 4 weeks before the wedding, I wasn't sure if I could go. I asked how she could possibly think that when we had booked the resort a year in advance. Mind you, she still doesn't know I'm currently ordained and was gonna surprise her by legally marrying them. I was in shock. You canceled your resort wedding 4 weeks before your date. You moved the wedding closer to your own hometown. We said we'd come, 100% we're coming, but we could only stay a few days, not the 2 weeks you wanted. She wasn't having any of it and insisted I was in the wrong and wasn't there for her. That in fact, we were not making it to the wedding. Here she is, the old Veronica. The one who lied, the one who's the only one right, the dramatic, selfish Veronica. I genuinely feel that people that are like this, it's ingrained in them from when they are small children. She was probably so unbelievably adorable growing up. Like, she was so adorable. She got everything she wanted. She was mommy's little girl, daddy's little girl. She's spoiled and selfish, and she got everything she wanted. It wouldn't surprise me if she was an only child, okay? After you start to learn over and over that, like, when you don't get what you want, if you just throw a temper tantrum, people will appease you to keep the peace. And then they start doing it to everybody else because that's how they learn that they get what they want. They've never learned that sometimes in life you don't get what you want. And that's okay.
It is not.
And while I can empathize with someone's, I don't even know if you could call this trauma, because it's like, oh God, what happened? You didn't get a Barbie as a kid that you wanted and then got it later. It is everyone's responsibility to take care of their own mental health, to grow as a person, and to not treat others with disrespect. Regardless of whether you get what you want or not, it is your responsibility to grow as a person and be better and not try to bring issues into other people's lives that don't need to be there. Buddha said that. He didn't say that exactly, but that's what he likes. At that point, like, why are we friends? Like, I don't know. I can empathize. That's who you are, okay? I understand that's who you are. But that doesn't mean that's who I want to be friends with. She won't listen to anything I say and keeps going around it. No, Veronica, we were coming. No, you weren't. Who are you to say we weren't? This is when I told her about me getting ordained and that I had her certificate all done for her and her husband to sign, and I would have legally married them. Nope, still wasn't listening. This has turned into my partner now, how controlling he is, and how he doesn't let me do anything, which is completely false. Mind you, he's the partner that drove and paid for us all to go to see this friend. Now he's doing substances, overweight and unhealthy. She tells me to call her when he's died from a heart attack. I'm pissed at this point. How the hell did we get here? She wanted you there for other reasons. I feel like she wanted you there to be a babysitter. I don't understand why you want someone to come and be with you for 2 weeks after you get married. Aren't you like going on a honeymoon or something? Like, aren't you gonna be in bed with your partner for the next 2 weeks? Why do you need your friend there? I ask you that, my friends. You are so upset with me and you're now telling lies about my partner. She's then messaging his mother, my mother-in-law. We are very close and she already knows what's going on because I'm sending her these crazy screenshots. Haha. Wow. My mother-in-law snaps on Veronica. How dare you say when my son dies of a heart attack to call you? That is disgusting of you to say about my son. And saying he's doing substances is absolutely false. He's a 300-pound man with 3 kids. Are you nuts? Veronica tells mother-in-law, I'm so concerned about his weight. He's so unhealthy. I just want the best for him. More lies. Veronica was going in circles and not even listening to what I was saying. She's puking out comments and I'm done. Just done. How did we get here? You're crazy. Sorry, Veronica. This clearly isn't going to work. Friends do not put down their partners who are very, in fact, supportive. Friends do not treat their friends this way. Ignoring my responses and going on about whatever you think in your head. I couldn't entertain this any longer. I told her to have a good life, that I will no longer be a part of it. Bye. So am I the a-hole for making my best friend cancel her wedding and completely cut ties with her? I genuinely think that there was an ulterior motive for trying to get you to come there after she, for 2 weeks. There was something else there and she was trying different tactics to get you to stay. She was trying to get you to break up with your husband and isolate you so she could have you to herself. Maybe she was trying to get you to babysit while her and her new husband giggitied for 2 weeks. I fail to understand why you need to be there right after she gets married for 2 weeks if there's not an ulterior motive. Look at the first comment. The 2 week stay was probably so you could babysit for their honeymoon. Literally, I knew it. OP responds 100%. I'm telling you, dude, she was using you and she wanted something. And when she wasn't getting it, she was trying all these different tactics to try to get it. She wanted a free babysitter, okay? It's funny that it's still the same thing. You broke up your friendship once before because of the babysitting, and now you're breaking up again because of the babysitting. So are you the a-hole? Absolutely not. And don't you forget it. Subscribe!